Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blue Clouds Media. And my name is Nate Zion. As usual, we're here streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. And we're bringing you the preview of the Chelsea and Nottingham Forest game, or Nottingham and Chelsea game. Today, we're going to give you the predicted lineup of both teams, plus Nottingham Forest injury list. Arsenal 7 clear on the top of the table. Rashford in hot form. We're also going to talk about transfer rumors. As we have Jude Bellingham to Real Madrid, and we have Bukayo Saka also linked with Juventus. Can these links, rumors, happen at all in this January or maybe in the near future summer transfer? Is Arsenal willing to let Bukayo Saka, who is on form and who is playing on top of his game, we will see these players moving away from Chelsea? We're streaming live to YouTube and then Facebook. Let us know wherever you're watching us from. And also, if you haven't subscribed to this platform, do us a favor. Subscribe to Blue Clouds Media. And also, bottom left corner below, keep the bell notification icon active so when we go live, you don't miss anything from the channel. And also, I'm not here alone. I'm being joined by the great Stephen Costi. Stephen is a diehard Chelsea fan, and he's an analyst. He analyzes games and also predict very, very well. So we hope that we're going to go through the game today and see what Forest can bring to Chelsea and what Chelsea can take away from Forest. Welcome again to Blue Clouds Media Sports. And welcome to my co-host, Stephen. Welcome to the stream.
Thanks for having me as always.
Yeah, you're welcome and happy new year to everyone. Let me know how your new year is going for you. I just got into my new year not too long ago, a couple hours ago. It's now still early in the morning here in my region, my state, Michigan, here Eastern time. So it's 10:42 a.m. and we're streaming live. So join us. Let's go through the discussion. The predicted lineup is up. I mean, not predicted. The lineup for Chelsea game is up, and we're gonna get into it. Steven, how are we seeing this game? Nottingham Forest and Chelsea. Predicted lineup. Let's. I'm not gonna go through the predicted lineup for what I have here because I'm gonna go through straight to what we're looking at. We're gonna go through what we are looking at this moment. So this is what we are looking at the moment. I'm gonna switch it this way. This is much better. So, Steven, we have this is a Forest lineup. They have down here. Henderson is here to follow. I don't know if I'm not sure if I get it right. To follow.
I think that's right.
Yeah, Willie Bully is right there. Joe Worrell also, and then we have Serge Aurier. Definitely you're gonna get a penalty. If Serge Aurier is in the right back, then you know it's very detrimental. You get penalty. Aurel Mangala, I like his name. Romeo Frula, probably one of the new guys. I'm not so sure of him. Ryan Yates, also guy. Those are the midfield you're talking about. Emmanuel Dennis, another guy that was on form in the Championship before Forest brought him to the Premier League. Then we have another guy called Tawu Owaniyi. I'm sure he's a Nigerian because I'm familiar with the name, the way the name sound. And also we have Johnson, another good player. Johnson is a very, very good player that Chelsea have to watch out for. He's got a lot of energy and he is nuisance for defenders. Steven, what do you make of this lineup?
Yeah, I said to you, like in messages,
Yeah.
about Morgan Gibbs White, but he actually isn't starting. But yeah, I mean, Forest, we know they're 19th. Um, we know they've not exactly scored
Yeah.
many, but in terms of them as a team, Gibbs White has 2 goals. Their highest scorer, I think, is Awoniyi, or however you pronounce it, on 3. But
Yeah.
Gibbs White has 2 assists, which is the most as well. He's created the most chances for them. He averages the most key passes per game at 1.7 per game, so just under 2 key passes a game averaged. I've explained it before. That's essentially when somebody passes a ball into someone who has a shot and that shot is off target.
Yeah.
Just for anyone who isn't aware of what that actually is. So there's like no we should be worried, but football's football. You never know what's gonna happen. So we should win, but like I say, football's football. You can't predict it. That's the beauty of it.
I agree with you, Steven, 100%. Football is full of uncertainty. You cannot predict football. It's always look. Who knows that today will be the day Tottenham will lose. They're playing home too. They're playing home against Aston Villa, and they're down by 2. Tottenham has been this. How many times they've been winning the game from behind, coming from behind to win the game, Steven? You said something about um,
I don't know how many times they've won, but they've gone behind in their last 10 competitive matches.
which is mad. Which is
I'll
mad. That
quickly
should tell
figure it
you
out.
they've been.
So if we include today, that's two,
Yeah,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in their 10 matches they've gone behind,
yeah.
they've lost 5, including today, because that's 2-0. That's about a finish. So it'd be 5 that they've lost. 2 that they drew,
Hang in there for
and
real quick, Steven.
then 4 that they won.
Yeah, hang in there real quick.
Yep.
Let me acknowledge the viewers that we have here. We have a Phantom of Many Topics. Big up to you, brother. I hope your new year is going on well. Also, we have Herbert. Big up, shout out to Herbert. Herbert, I need you. I need to have a word with you, Herbert. When you get time, just message me. Nottingham Forest is a rollover team. Phantom, no, you can't say that in the Premier League, not anymore. Herbert said that Tottenham losing. Good news for everyone. Good news for Chelsea fans. Good news for Manchester United fans. Tottenham Hotspurs have been very lucky. Like Steven was just saying. Steven, go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, so they've gone behind in their last 10 games competitively.
Yeah.
They lost 2-0 to United. They lost 2-1 to Newcastle. They drew 1-0 with Sporting Lisbon. Beat Bournemouth 3-2. I think they were actually 2-0 down in that one. They beat Olympique Marseille 2-1. Lost 2-1 to Liverpool. Lost 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. In the EFL Cup, Nottingham Forest had a red card.
Yeah.
They beat Leeds 4-3. Leeds had a red card. Drew with Brentford 2-0, and now they're losing 2-0 today. And there's 7 minutes added time just been put up on the board.
Yeah, it's so unreal and unbelievable that the stature and then the profile of Antonio Conte with all these profile players that he has cannot play good football. Always want to sit back and rely on it. I don't know why he always instruct Harry Kane to drop that deep. Is there any reason for that? I'm not sure, Stephen, if you have any idea on why Harry Kane is always dropping deep. Harry Kane does the same thing for the English national team too.
Yeah, I think that's just Kane's game though. I feel, if I remember rightly, he's been doing it for a while, even under Poch as well. So it's just an aspect like drop deep, you get the runners behind, and then they can cut it back for him, something like that probably, because
Yeah.
it gives space for players like Son in behind. So we all know Kane can score, but at times he does drop deep to help with the play as well. Um,
Right.
I feel like it's just an aspect of his game, to be honest, because I feel like he's always sort of done that for the most
Hmm.
part. Aston Villa might be in again. Never mind. Sorry, I thought it was
All
going
right.
to be 3-0 as we were speaking then.
Stephen, I'll let you take us through the starting lineup for Chelsea. I have it here, so you can take us through it. Was I do a little bit of something on my phone, so you can take us through the starting lineup, Stephen. What do we
Yep.
have? What do you have? Yeah, take us through it, Stephen.
Yep. So yeah, it's the same team as the last game, with the exception of Azpilicueta replacing Reece James, who's injured. So Kepa in goal, Azpilicueta at right back, Koulibaly and Silva as our centre backs, with Cucurella at left back because Chilwell's still injured. Zakaria, Jorginho, and Mount as a midfield, and then Pulisic, Havertz, and Sterling as the front three. There's also
Yeah.
a couple of
Go
youngsters on the
ahead.
bench as well, by the way. Yeah, we got a couple of the youngsters on the bench. We got Hutchinson, Lewis Hall, um, Chukwemeka. All three of those are on the bench. And
And which
Kovacic
with all
returns to the
these
bench as well after returning from the World Cup.
with all these young guys, which of them do you see him having the chance to start today's game?
I mean, none of them are starting, but I would like to see preferably all three. I think all three are really good talents.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've not seen Hutchinson at Premier League level, but we know he's too good for the youth level because we've seen what he's done tearing the youth level up. So it'd be nice to see him get some minutes in the Premier League. But we've seen Lewis Hall and Chukwemeka get some minutes in the Premier League. Chukwemeka got some
Yeah.
for Chelsea, but he also got some for Villa last season as well. Lewis Hall had appearances in the Premier League. He had appearances in the League Cup. I think he had one or two appearances in FA Cup as well.
Yeah.
So we know that like these players, they've obviously got the talent. It's just hopefully we can be in a position to bring them on the game, just so you constantly get them a little bit more minutes here and there. Um, yeah, I think all three are talented, and I'd like to see them get some minutes if we're looking comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Aspilicueta in for Reece James and also Koulibaly on the right hand side of the um, defense, center back, and then Thiago Silva playing on the left hand side. So I think their body share. Ryan Herbert told me that Grant Potter is looking for a natural left-footed centre back, which I don't think Thiago is a natural left-footed centre back. So the reason why we have Badishia in is to be able to have a natural left-footed centre back, which makes a lot of sense. Cucurella also over there, natural left-footed, very versatile in various positions that we can get him for. Jorginho is a guy that we're looking for him to penetrate, which we don't get that much from him. Zakaria, I know he can. He with his height, he can run, he can track, but then sometimes his recovery is not the best. His recovery is not the best, and also Ryan Sterling will give you that much pace going up front on the left hand side. We're gonna get that from Raheem Sterling, and then let's see what Mason Mount. I pray that he have a very beautiful game today. Kai Havertz, why Kai Havertz and not Obama Young, Stephen? Kai Havertz, not Obama Young. We'll come to Christian Pulisic.
I mean, for one, Havertz scored in the last game,
Yeah,
and for two, when he came on, Aubameyang didn't really put much effort in. Is what my view on it is. There was a couple things that I feel like he could and definitely should have challenged for that he just
right.
didn't look interested in, which is really infuriating. And look, I've always criticized Kai because if he's got players a striker, he has to be getting the goals, and it's something he struggled with. But if he can start getting goals now, obviously,
Yeah.
good on him, good for us. But that's been my criticisms. Like, you're playing him as a striker, but he's not getting the goals. He's not finishing the chances that he's getting. So if he can do that, obviously, brilliant. Let's keep going with it. But
Ye-
one of the big things that's been an issue is his consistency. That's one of the big issues we've had with him.
Yeah, thank you very much, Stephen, taking the time to explain that and elaborate on Aubameyang's performance with Chelsea at this moment. I want to say big up to everyone that is watching us, wherever you're watching us from. I want to say we thank you and hope you're having a wonderful new year. Big up to I123, love you. She said, hello, my brother. I'm cleaning the house today. I'm hoping for a win today. Back to work tomorrow for me. Time waits for uh, time waits for no one. I think she's trying to say, hope you well. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to you as well. Big up to Herbert. Herbert said, Tottenham lost. Good chance for Chelsea. Good chance for Chelsea. Good chance for all these teams fighting for the top four position. And we're going to talk about Herbert. Echo said Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to Echo. Merry Christmas to you, my brother. Merry Christmas, and I hope you're doing very, very well. If you haven't subscribed or if you're not a regular viewer, you better stay tuned because we bring you lots of breaking news all the time when they come and we share lots of news and any update that goes on whilst we're live, we will give it to you. And we don't hesitate to read your messages, get engaged, get in the conversation, send your message through, and we will take time to read them for you as we're taking you through the lineup of today's game between Nottingham Forest. The review are there. From there, we'll be looking at some transfer rumors that is circulating in Europe in terms of you know we're looking at Nottingham Forest injury, Stephen. I heard they have
Hmm.
Henderson Nottingham Forest injury list at this moment. There's a long list for Nottingham Forest. Morgan Gibbs White muscle
Morgan
injury.
Gibbs White's
Jesse,
on the bench,
yeah, I was told he has a muscle injury. Jesse
I think.
Lingard injury against Man United due to hamstring discomfort, and also we have Coit, and Niaket hamstring injuries. Omar Richard, and then Biancon. This is heavy names for me. Okay, leg and ACL injury. So you have a lot of injury news going on there. Would that play a good effect for Chelsea? Would that make a very good, easy way for Chelsea to win this game? I mean, it's a must win for Chelsea in a way. But with all this injury that Nottingham Forest are going through, would they stand a chance to stand Chelsea?
I mean, you said it. Chelsea should and do need to win this game. Both need to
Yeah,
and should. Um, and of course, the injuries are going to help, but even with them not having injuries, we should be winning. One thing I will just quickly say is Potter has explained the lineup and stuff. So obviously he said he wants to keep a winning team. Good performance against Bournemouth certainly in the first half, and he felt it was a right team to go with. Obviously, God miss Reese, but as P's experienced. But the interesting thing to note, he spoke on Dennis Zakaria, however you want to pronounce it.
Zakari.
So on him, he's had a nice partnership with, yeah, I've heard it pronounced so many different ways. It's just one of those.
Zakari. I
So
mean,
he
it's a
said he had
noun.
a nice
So
partnership with, yeah. So he said he had a nice partnership with Georgie. They worked well together. He
yeah,
did well against Brentford in a behind closed doors game in the break, so his form's been good. He gives us a bit of physicality in midfield, which is important. So we could be about to see more of him. He's been impressing, clearly.
Okay. Thank you very much. Shout out to Kim So. Kim So said, we have to win. We have to win. Tottenham drop points. Absolutely, we have to win. This is a must-win game for Chelsea. Hello, hello. Big up to you. Happy New Year, Kim So. Today you get a chance to be the moderator on my channel. You, Kim So, you deserve it. As a moderator, you're a moderator on the platform now, Kim. So big up to you, and you earn it, brother. You earn it. You really earn it. He said, but we still end making top four. Let's see. Let's see. I did have the hope, but now from what I'm having, Buddy Shea coming in, there could be a chance for us to make it to top four. But we have to make sure Young and his guys score. We have Kai Havertz. We hope that Kai Havertz can bang in the goals for us today. Happy New Year 2023. Thank you very much, YouTube. Thank you. Thank you, Kim. So you are a mod on the platform. Help me take care of this nuisance that comes in all the time when people comes and then trying to spam the platform. You take care of them for me whilst I concentrate on the stream. So yeah, thank you, Stephen. Explain the lineup. So we're gonna move on to, unless Steven have something different, then you can jump in and then bring it up. Whilst we look at Arsenal on fire. Arsenal 7 clear at the top of the table. After Man City draw against Everton, Arsenal are now 7-point clear at top of the table after beating Brighton. Manchester United are just 4 points behind Man City, who is currently sitting at the second place. Arsenal, is it the time for them to win the season, Stephen? Is it their time? Or they have the title
Come
to
back to
lose?
me in about 6 games. Come back to me in
Okay.
about 6 games. I'll give you a definitive answer. Because in their next 6 games, they've got Newcastle. In terms of league games, obviously, I'm not including FA
Yeah.
Cup. They got Newcastle. Then they've got Tottenham. Then they've got Manchester United. Then they've got Everton. Then they've got Brentford. Then they've got Man City. So there's some difficult games in there. There's Newcastle, obviously, right up there. Tottenham, they'll be up for it. It's a London derby, despite constantly going behind at the moment. Man United, you never know what United's going to show up at the moment either.
Yeah.
And obviously Man City, who's the team that they're fighting for the title. So they're the definitive games, and that's all by the middle of February. All those games by middle of February. So this is when we're going to find out what they're made of. You've got some hard games coming up. Now you've got to prove it. Prove it's not just a case of getting some lucky results with some good performances, don't get me wrong, but there's a couple results where I've not been convinced.
Yeah, I
So
agree with you.
now
They
you've
have
got
some
to
dodgy,
convince us. You've
dodgy.
got multiple hard games in a short space of time.
You go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, now is where you've got
Okay.
to really convince us because you've got a
Okay.
lot of hard
I,
games in a lot of space of time.
yeah, I agree with Steven. He said, come back to me in 6 games time. After 6 games, I should come back to him and ask him the question if indeed this year is for Tottenham Hotspurs or not. Are we going to see? I mean, sorry, if this year is for
In
Arsenal
Arsenal,
or
not Tottenham,
no.
by the way.
Arsenal. So, yeah, we got 7 of us watching. If it's the first time joining us here, do not hesitate. Let's move the likes to 9. If you have 9, let's move it to 9 from here. We're streaming live. We're streaming live on YouTube and also Facebook at the same time. Let us know where you're watching the stream from. If you're watching the stream from Facebook, give me a thumb up, send me a message, and then I won't hesitate. I'll just read it for you. You don't have to pay a dime or a penny for me to read your messages for you. So let us know. Arsenal 7-point clear from Manchester City, and also Man United 4 points up there. Waiting for people to drop points for them to catch them up. Arsenal team leading by 7 points or more in the Premier League. I mean, at the start of the new year, having always won the Premier League. It's all up to the Gunners. It's all up to the Gunners to prove a point. And also, Stephen, we're going to talk about a little bit about Marcus Rashford. in a very hot form. We saw how difficult it was for Manchester United yesterday, but Marcus Rashford's solo individual brilliance in the 18 was able to dummy defenders and got the winning goal for Manchester United. What do you make of a Rashford under Eric Ten Hag?
Yeah, he's in form. We saw him playing well for England at the World Cup as well. Um, I think it was a couple of seasons ago he was having a really good season as well. So who knows? He's just having his option, the club option triggered in his contract. So it was due to expire this summer. It now will not expire this summer, and I think they're
Yeah.
working on a long-term deal with him as well. And look, he's only 25 years old. Let's not get it wrong. Like, he's 25 years old, and he's got what? I'm trying to find it now. He's played 16 games this season. He started 14. He's got 6 goals,
Yeah.
3 assists. So yeah, good return. And yeah, I would think that they're definitely got extra contract long term at the age of 25 with his current form as well.
Yeah. Like I said, although Rashford dropped from the starting 11 due to internal disciplinary issues, elsewhere all told he was sleeping and missing team meeting, but scored a winning goal for the team, and that was brilliant from Marcus Rashford. After his winning goal against the Wolves, Marcus Rashford has now 5 goals. 5 goals to his tally coming off the bench in Premier League, more than any other player. That's good stats for Marcus Rashford. 5 goals coming out from the bench to get 5 goals coming out from the bench to get 5 goals is impressive. Which push Marcus Rashford to be to have a 104 goals for Manchester United, more than any other current player in the squad. That's good statistics for Marcus Rashford. We know what they've done behind the scenes for charity, and then he's still proving a point on the pitch. I know he's hot and cold. Marcus Rashford can be like the French player. What's his name? The other French player that went to the Spanish league on loan and he's back. Anthony Martial is just like
Anthony
another
Martial.
Anthony Martial. They can be on hit, they can get on form, and then there's a player in there. There's quality in those players, but sometimes they don't bring it out. They're not consistent enough. So that is what has been the downfall of Marcus Rashford. Was to go ahead and see some transfer rumors. Bellingham to Real Madrid. We've said that many times. According to ESPN, today Real Madrid are confident of landing Jude Bellingham. Steven, Real Madrid are confident on landing Jude Bellingham. Are we gonna see Jude leaving
I
England
mean,
to Spain?
I said it when we started seeing more and more news about Bellingham come out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he did the trade. You asked, would you go Liverpool or would you go to Real Madrid if you're Bellingham? My argument was, if you want to win the Champions League, would you go Man City rather, or would you go to Real Madrid?
Oh,
And
Real
my
Madrid.
argument was, if you want to win the Premier League,
Yeah.
obviously you go to Man City. But if you want to win the Champions League, Man City have had an issue with that. No matter what talent they've had in their squad, they've had an issue with managing that, and they have not done that yet. So if you want the Champions League, you would go to Real Madrid.
Yeah, I
Does
agree
he
with
go
Steven.
Madrid? I think Madrid will go push harder now. I think Madrid push harder now because we saw the news the other day. Tony Kroos is retiring at the end of the season, which means they've got to push hard to fill that place in their team. Obviously, they've got Camavinga, they've got Tuchemeni as well, but you still need a talent to replace Kroos as well. So if they could get Tuchemeni, Camavinga, and Bellingham all in that Madrid team,
Yeah.
honestly, that will be incredible.
Yeah, guys, we're trying to wrap up, and then we have on less than 10 minutes for our streaming. We have less than 10 minutes to stream because we have to end the stream before 10 minutes before kickoff, so we can all relax, get our ice creams, get a cup of coffee, or some cookies or crackers, and then I relax and watch how Chelsea can demolish Forest today. But so yeah, just like Steven just said, if you're a player and your ambitions is to win the world, is to win the Champions League, to be one of the players to be, go in the history book as a player who won the Champions League before, this is the time that you always want to join a Real Madrid, because how long has City been trying? They've got too close and they never win it. They don't have that winning mentality. We've been there with Chelsea, which deal with the favorite to win that game. Chelsea won it 1-0 right in their noses. So if we want to win it so easily, but then looking at Bellingham going to Real Madrid, what are the chances? We have Camavinga, we have Tuchemeni, we have other players in the midfield. We have Valverde in the midfield. I think so. Valverde is right there. Big up to you, Mr. Ryan. Ryan, happy New Year and welcome to the stream.
Hi guys, happy New Year. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure to have you here. We are talking about Jude Bellingham, also linked again today, joining Real Madrid, and we are asking of what there are a lot of players in the midfield talking about Camavinga, Tuchemeni. We're talking about Valverde, all these players in there. Will Jude Bellingham get a chance in there, Stephen? Before we go to Ryan.
What, will Bellingham get a chance in their midfield?
In the midfield, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he should. We all know what he can do. We've seen it for Dortmund. We saw it at the World Cup for England as well. There's no reason why he can't get into that midfield, because like, he's such a talent that you kind of have to make the argument that he would deserve to start regardless. And like I say, if you have a midfield of him, Tuchemeni, and Camavinga,
Yeah,
honestly, that could be a massive.
Yeah, Steven said if you have a midfield of Camavinga and also Jude Bellingham, it will be a massive midfield that you cannot do away. Ryan, sorry, Ryan. I know you have a lot of news you want to discuss here concerning the loss for Tottenham Hotspur. But then let me start with you on Jude Bellingham. Link again, strongly linked with Real Madrid. Before you come up and tell us what you want to say about Tottenham Hotspur losing. This time they didn't get lucky. So Herbert, take us through it.
Sure. Yeah, it's almost like back to the Galactico era of Real Madrid, where they buy these big stars and they find a way to make these superstars fit. Jude Bellingham is a superstar, so there's no doubt in my mind that he will command a starting position in that Real Madrid midfield.
Yeah.
You have to look at it in the sense that Modric is in the late 30s now. Toni Kroos has announced, I believe, that he's going to retire at the end of this season. And they let Casemiro go in the summer to Manchester United. So there's a huge void in that midfield. And that's a scary thought. A midfield three of Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Jude Bellingham. It's frightening, actually. I think Camavinga probably has the most to prove still out of those three. We all saw how great a player Tchouaméni is in the World Cup, and the same goes with Bellingham. I think the jury is still out for Camavinga to prove himself. But he is still, like Bellingham, very young, and has got so many years ahead of him. But yeah, he would. I think Real Madrid typically play a 4-3-3, don't they? With three in the midfield. That was Modric, Kroos, Casemiro for so many years. when they were winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
And then they used to, have the some subs in the back on the bench as well to rotate. So yeah, I think Bellingham is a top priority signing for them, and I expect Real Madrid to get him. I hope they don't, but it looks like Real Madrid is his first choice.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, if I were a player like Jude Bellingham, I'm looking for a team that can help me win the Champions League. I'm going straight to Real Madrid because I know City can win it, but how long has it been? And look at that, they're still losing games and losing points with all these superstars that they have and Haaland and all the players. You could tell that there's still something wrong in their formation. Yeah. Before I go on, let me acknowledge Kim Soul's messages. He said the Aubameyang doesn't score. More or less, we should have get Casemiro. Casemiro is a very good player, but you should ask yourself, why did Real Madrid leave Casemiro to Manchester United? Because of this age. Once you have players at close to that age, 30, 31 going, you wouldn't get any good price for them when you're about to sell them. There's no there's no there's no money resale value on it. There's no resale value. That's the right word. There's no resale value on players of that age. So Man United cannot have Casemiro for way too long. Maybe 2 seasons, in my opinion, maybe 2 seasons, 3 seasons. That's how long they can have Casemiro. But if you're thinking of the long term longevity, you don't want Casemiro. You want to invest into youth player. I wouldn't say player that's about around 24, 25. He has quite some years, 6, 7 years with you to perform, just like how we have Kante for a while now. So just like I said, I don't know what else you want to see about it, Kim Soo, but if I make sense, give me a thumb up. If I don't make sense, just give me a thumb down. And then there's a player here we'll be looking at in Badishir and his performance over here. We'll come to that. We don't have that much time. We got about a few minutes to end our stream before the kickoff. Ryan, what do you want to say about Tottenham? They lost the game, brother.
Yeah, it's a new year, but
Yeah.
some things never change. Some things never change. Spurs just being Spursy, as simple as that. And they're going to struggle to make the top four now, which, is one less rival, I guess, for Chelsea and Liverpool to worry about for a top four finish at the end of the season. I pity Spurs. I didn't watch the game. But I just caught the highlights and the analysis post match on Sky with Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Graham Souness and Jamie Redknapp. And, they were pointing blame at Lloris, saying, he made at least one mistake for one of the goals. Yeah.
The second goal,
they were praising the second goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he should have saved it. And I think even
No, it was the first. It was the first.
Is it the first goal? The first goal. He fumbled it or something.
Yeah, it was being struck from behind the 18, and he didn't save
the
it very
first
well.
one was a long shot, and he fumbled it, and then Watkins stole it and gave it to Buendia.
Buendia, okay. And yeah, the second goal, I think, and overall they were praising Douglas Luiz, saying he had a very strong,
good build-up,
performance.
Yeah,
good build-up, good finish. And there seemed to be a World Cup hangover with a lot of the World Cup players not doing well, like Romero and Lloris. So, sucks to be a Spurs fan. Sorry if there's any Spurs fans listening, but yeah.
But to be honest, Ryan, they've been very lucky. So many times they've played very badly. They've gone behind like 7 times this season, where they've come back and then win the game, and they've lost
10 consecutive times they've gone behind.
10 consecutive times, just like Stephen gave us that statistics earlier on. 10 consecutive times that Tottenham have come from behind to win this game, and this time they didn't get that luck. They didn't get that luck playing at White Hart Lane, the beautiful stadium, iconic stadium in England. Stayed in their home and then lose against. Don't get me wrong. Everton played very, very well. The second goal was a nice build-up for Douglas Luiz to finish that goal. But then let's move on to, according to Cassio Mercato Web, he said that Juventus are planning a swap deal in the hope of bringing Bukayo Saka to Italy in exchange for Dusan Vlahovic. What do you guys make of this? Who will make that swap for Vlahovic over Saka, who scores almost every game? Will you do that? Will you guys do this? Saka for Vlahovic?
I'm pretty sure that it's not a reliable source anyway, but there's no way Arsenal will go do that deal. And also, just quickly, you said about World Cup hangover, Ryan, for
Steven, before
Romero
you
and
go ahead,
Lloris.
Steven, hold on 1 minute. Before you go ahead, Cassio Mercato is Italian news outlet. They're very, very credible. They're very credible. Cassio Mercato.
I'm pretty sure it's one of the unreliable ones, though.
Okay, go ahead, Steven.
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's one of the unreliable ones. Plus, Arsenal will never go do that. There's no way they're giving up Saka for Vlahovic. And just quickly to touch on what Ryan said about World Cup hangover for players like Romero and Lloris, I think that's just a Spurs thing. An ironic thing is the first goal. Obviously, first goal was scored by a Argentinian player, which is quite fitting given the World Cup final was France against Argentina.
Yeah. You there?
Yep.
Oh,
can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Ryan, Mr. Ryan, what would you make of these rumors surrounding Saka for Vlahovic Juventus?
Yeah, whether I've heard of that source before, but I don't know well enough whether it's credible or unreliable. But sounds to me like paper talk, and I'm sure if that's Juve's intentions, they're not going to be very successful. There's no chance that Arsenal are going to swap or let Saka leave. It's just like impossible.
Yeah,
they're going to do everything they can to tie him down to a long-term contract.
Yeah, I asked Steven this question. He said I should come back and after 7 games and ask him the same question. Arsenal clear favorite after 7 points at the top of the table. Ryan, Ryan. Sorry.
They are the favorites right now. Yeah, to win the Premier League. I don't think they're clear favorites. And interestingly, if you look at the bookmakers' odds, Man City are still the odds on to defend their Premier League crown. Arsenal are the best team in the country right now. They're winning virtually all their games, scoring goals, keeping clean sheets or limiting goals conceded. They're just, so confident, lots of momentum. But I still think they will wobble at some point. There's still so many games to play. It's just whether Manchester City or a long shot punt, Newcastle can position themselves well to take advantage when Arsenal slip up.
But it looks like even though they have a missing puzzle, someone gets out of the puzzle, then they replace that person with Nketiah. And Nketiah is filling the gap very well for Gabriel Jesus. What do you make of his performance so far?
Yeah, listen, he's a quality, youngish English striker. He's not Gabriel Jesus. Obviously, he's not got that kind of quality, but he's filled in well in the Premier League. Arsenal not playing in the Champions League, so we can't judge them at that kind of elite level.
Okay.
But yeah, in terms of Premier League, they've he's performed well. It's interesting as well, Arsenal played a weaker team against Brighton. Was it in the Carabao Cup and they lost? But in the league, they were so dominant yesterday away from home. So it's pretty clear that the Premier League is the Arteta and the club's top priority. That's what they're aiming to achieve this season.
That's what I was just going to say, that they're prioritizing the Premier League over any other league. But we're going to look at this guy's statistics, and we're going to end the stream right now. Less than 6 minutes for kickoff, if I'm right. Less than 6 minutes. We're going to look at Badishir's performance, Badishir's attributes or statistics in 2022-2023. We will start with the green one first. When you talk about progressive passing, he's got 80% progressive passes. Carry and dribble value is 69, and link up play volume is 25. Ball retention ability is 23. That should tell you what this guy is made of. Database, they're talking about database. Database is working here. Where back in the days in Roman Abramovich, we're not using much of this data to assess our players and know who to keep and who to sell. We're just assessing them during day-to-day basis. But this is the database of this player. Ball recovery 98 and interception, 98 recoveries and then interception. This is mad. Disruption of opponent and moves is 39, and 93% of defending intensity. Great attribute of a player. Defending impact is 22. We're talking about aerial duels quantity. This is something that I'm not really I don't know how they rate this, but it looks a little bit low to me. Aerial duels quantity is 36 over here. We're talking about shot value 88. Receptions in opponent's box is 89, and then XG from ball progression is 69, then 70 for XG from shot creation. Shot creation is 70. So this is a hell of a player. Ryan and Steven, do you guys want to inject anything in it before we go for one more question and we're gone? What do you want to say about this monster coming to Chelsea?
Yeah, I think that's all like as a percentile. So he's quite high in things like recoveries and interceptions, for example. And I said to you privately, somebody said to me, I hope he helps us in terms of set pieces at both ends. He's 6'4". If he's not helping us with winning headers at set pieces, I would be concerned.
Yeah, that makes a little sense. Yeah. Because concerning his height, yeah. You still there, man? Like Steven.
Yeah, you cut out for me. I couldn't hear what you said. I just heard the word height.
No, I said, are you still there, man? Like Steven. I wasn't saying anything. Can you still hear me, Ryan? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you both.
Okay. So it looks like the Duke of Edinburgh is drawing some of Steven's internet away. We hope that he can give it back to him. Okay. we move on. One more question. Final score for Nottingham Forest vs Chelsea. Let me start with Ryan. What do you think the scoreline is going to be like? Nottingham Forest, Chelsea.
I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Chelsea, the away team. And I predict that Mason Mount will be on the score sheet.
Okay, Ryan predicted Mason Mount will be on the score sheet. Steven.
Yeah, you know that I'm always reluctant to give scorelines, but yeah, I'll go 2-0. They're about to do their moment of silence for Pele, by the way.
Okay, then yeah, we're gonna jump away from here. I don't know if you guys would be up and ready for what do you call it? Preview. Sorry, preview. A review. Sorry, I'm getting confused. You guys should be up for a review. I can set it going if you guys want to. If not, we I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds good. Post-match review.
Yeah, post-match review. We can get it going and see what is going on. So yeah, I can set that going whilst the game is going on. And yeah, like I said, my prediction will be would be a 2-1 for 2-0 for Chelsea. 2-0 for another clean sheet. 2-0 for Chelsea, but I want to see a better performance. Yeah, this is where we're gonna end the stream. I want to thank my co-hosts, Ryan and Steven, for joining us, and all the guys that are joining us. We got 5 of us watching at this moment. I want to say thank you very much. Happy New Year. I 123 love you. Echo, and also Kim So, who else that joined Phantom of Minute Topics, and Herbert, who came in. Herbert also, yeah, he was there and then he's gone. Ryan, beautiful Ryan, and handsome Ryan, and Steven, handsome and beautiful, handsome and Steven. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, thank you everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful day. You guys enjoy the game, and we'll be right back right after the game for a review. Thank you very much, and then see you again. Leo Desperandos, like I said, hang on to hope. Don't do what I want to do. See ya again. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blue Clouds TV.